Benjamin D'Souza, what the skunt. I know it's been a while, but got a few subjects I want to talk about. But one subject that I want to talk about in particular that is really prevalent in the Black community, and I see it as a major problem, especially amongst Black men. I expect this type of behavior from Black women, but us as men, we need to hold ourselves to a higher standard. And this type of behavior is the whole finessing culture. And I see this shit in all walks of life. I've been seeing it since I reached my adulthood in the early 2000s all the way up until now. And my thing is, if you're trying to get over on any and everybody that you come in contact with, even on the most insignificant and minuscule things, then you're not going to be able to be trusted on major shit. And that poses a problem, especially when you're talking about business endeavors and, making investments and whatnot. If you can't trust your next man on some minor shit, you're definitely not going to be able to trust him on some major shit. And what really got my goat to do this video is it was Friday night or whatever, and it was payday at the job. And how they do it is, they wheel out a big ass, file cabinet with everybody's checks in alphabetical order according to your last name, and so everybody gets in line or whatever to get their checks. And it's like two people working the station passing out checks. You go to the station, tell them what your last name is. They go to the letter what your last name is, thumb through it, find your name, you get your check, whoop wham, you out. Now I get in line and I'm patient, waiting for my turn to collect my check so I can go home, get the fuck up out of there and go home, like a civilized human being and whatnot. So I'm chilling. It's a chick in front of me, and in front of her is a younger brother. Younger brother, probably late teens, early 20s. And I know him because I worked with his uncle. His uncle worked there probably about a couple years or so before he started working there. So I built up a good rapport with both of his uncles that worked there. And so when he came, I'm like, yo, you related to such and such, and we are cool by proxy like that. But we chilling in line. And these two guys come up right beside him, one to the left of him, one to the right of him. And they come up, they're striking up a conversation and whatnot. Now this is a line, mind you. This is a line. And they're sitting there talking, but the way that their body language is, they're settling in, just going along with the flow of the line, like this is their place in line. So one of the gentlemen to his right, looked like a Latino guy or whatever. I say, yo, my man in the Nautica hat. He turns around. I say, hey, the line's back there. And the guy in the middle, which whom I know, he said, oh, no, it's cool. He said, no, man, we was just talking. I'm like, all right, okay. All right. Now, if you facing north and you talking to somebody, they're going to be facing southwest or south or due southwest. And if it's another person to your left and he's talking to you, he's going to be facing south or due southeast. All y'all motherfuckers is facing in the same direction. Like, come on. And one of the supervisors, an older white gentleman, he was probably in his early 40s or whatnot. He knows me. I've been working with him for a few years now. Me and him and built up a rapport and whatnot, and we kind of relate on a few subjects. Him being from rural Missouri and whatnot, and my folk being from rural Arkansas. We kind of relate on certain things like fishing, hunting, and cleaning. We have conversations about cleaning fish and dressing game and whatnot and all that other stuff. So he say to the gentleman, he say to one of the guys, he said, "Hey, you, such and such, you got direct deposit. What are you doing in the line for the checks? If you got direct deposit, if you ain't in line for the checks, get out the line." Now, it's 250, 300 people to work there. He know good goddamn well he don't know if that man got direct deposit. He just seen a situation that was about to bubble, and he tried to de-escalate and say that young man's ass. I was about to get on him. But anyway, now the point to that story is, had them two young men just done right and just played it square up, they would have saved themselves some time, because while they was, trying to finesse and finagle and wiggle their way in the line and trying to cut everybody, the line behind us was getting bigger. You know what I mean? And then when I called their ass out, now they got to get in the back of the line where the line is even bigger than what it would have been had they just gotten the line, had they just would have swallowed their pride and just hopped their ass in line when they should have hopped their ass in line. But we as black folks, black men in particular, we have this culture about us, this whole finessing culture and whatnot. And it's bad for business all around. Have even scales when you're conducting business. Make sure you got honest scales when you're conducting business. Don't fudge the numbers. Do square business. You know what I mean? And another gentleman at that same job that I'm working at was telling me about a female of his who sells things, and she sells it by the gram and whatnot. This, that, and the third. If you get what I'm saying. And she skimps certain customers, 0.5 gram, 0.4, 0.3, 0.6 grams and whatnot. And, she thinks that she's getting over because it's the thrill of the finesse. Black folks, we done fell in love with the thrill of finesse. And, he was telling me how she does her customers and whatnot. And I was telling him, like, listen, yeah, she might cut corners here and there and get a few extra bucks per, transaction here and there. But when that customer realized that she done skimped them, point whatever, he's not gonna want to do business with her no more. And it's not like she can take an ad out in the newspaper to advertise her business, if you catch my drift. So when word get out that her shit coming up short, motherfuckers ain't gonna want to spend money with her. You know what I mean? It's like this one gentleman that I worked for close about 10 years ago. He told me something that really resonated with me. He said, never cut corners. Never cut corners. And I always kept that in the back of my mind. Never cut corners. Do that shit right the first time. It's like something that my father told me. Measure twice, cut once. You know what I mean? But us in Blackistan, we wanna cut corners and we wanna finesse just to brag about we finessed or we got over on somebody. On something as petty and as trivial as a spot in line. Another story. This was probably about, maybe a little over 10 years ago. Probably about 10, 11, 12 years ago. I was in my early 20s. and I was staying on the east side. And for those familiar with Kansas City, it's the Church's Chicken off of 23rd Street in Van Brunt. Anybody who listening who's from Kansas City, you know the Church's Chicken that I'm talking about. Right there off of 23rd and Van Brunt. You know what I mean? Anyway, I pull up, I go inside. I'm trying to get me a 2-piece and a biscuit. You feel me? So it's a couple of white dudes in front of me. Now these is like, the east side or whatever. It's predominantly black, but it got some white folks. Mexicans is over there too. Central Americans, Salvadorians and all that. They all over there. Anyway, these look like some unsavory white folks. Like they had been doing landscaping work or dumpster diving or, scrounging for copper all day and shit. You know what I mean? But, I'm not judging anybody. Anyway, they're in front of me. They're making their order. Black dude comes in. Apparently, he knows the 2 white dudes. Now, this is an older gentleman, mind you. I'm in my early 20s. This dude looked like he was in his early 40s. This nigga is like 2 decades older than me. He started talking to the white gentleman in front of me, and they calling each other by name like they know each other. But the black dude settles in front of me, and he gets to looking at the menu. Like, as soon as they get done ordering, like, he about to order. I tapped that joker on the shoulder. I'm like, yo, my man, you're not about to cut me like this, man. Now, this nigga know he wrong. He wronger than 10 dogs. But when you catch somebody doing something wrong and they try to save face, so they project their guilt onto you and they try to twist it into making it seem like you in the wrong, that's exactly what this gentleman did. Now, he had some words for me after I called him out like, yo, you not about to cut me. Now, he didn't cuss me out. He teetered on that line, but he ain't cross it. You know what I mean? Now, he, was talking shit as he was moving his ass to the back of the line. And when he got to talking shit, I twisted my face up so hard at that joker. I looked him square in his eye. Now, me, personally, when I sense some shit could potentially crack off, I'm done talking. If you and I on the street and we get to arguing and I sense that a serious altercation could ensue, I'm not about to talk no more. I'm not talking. I'm done talking. I'm thinking about what I'm gonna do to you and how the fuck I'm gonna get out of here. That's what I'm thinking about. So I'm thinking about, okay, he know these 2 dudes right here, if I hit this nigga in this motherfucking shit right now, am I gonna have to scuffle with them? Okay, I parked my car on the east side of the building. Okay. So, all right, I'm about to hit 23rd, go down there, turn down Quincy. All right. Turn down 20th Street, hit Quincy, and be at the house in no time. You feel me? And he know he was wrong. But anyway, I go to the front. I order my food. I get my food. I'm walking out, and I just look at this nigga. Now, I'm not even mugging him no more. I just look at him with just a look of just disappointment and disgust on my face. So I'm like, nigga, you old enough to be my daddy. I'm 21, 22 years old, and here you are in your early to mid 40s, and you acting like this is goddamn elementary school. You know what I mean? Like, you remember back in elementary school, it was time for lunch, and the nigga in front of you would let somebody cut him, like one of his homies who he was cooler with than you. He'd be like, yeah, man, you can cut. And I don't know if y'all familiar with the term Chinese cut, but it was something, that went on out here in Kansas City where you didn't, you would let somebody cut, but you wouldn't let them get in front of you. They could cut, but they had to cut behind you. It was called a Chinese cut. Now, if you wasn't going for no Chinese cut, motherfuckers would go get slick, and they'll let the person cut them, and then they would cut the other person. They just take an extra step for a Chinese cut. You know what I'm saying? Some petty ass elementary shit, man. But yeah, man, that's the state of black folks. That's black men right there in America. They try to get over however they can, and I'm like, damn, nigga, this nigga gotta be like in his 50s now. This nigga's a baby boomer. I'm like, bro, I know James Brown was talking that shit back in the 60s and the 70s, talking about we got to get over before we go under. But nigga, he wasn't saying get over on your own people. He wasn't saying get over on the brother, man. He was saying get over on the other man. God damn. Third story. I must have been about 25, maybe 26, 27. Go down to Westport, me and my homie, man. We go down to Westport. Anybody from Kansas City, you know what it is, the club scene down at Westport. Whatever. So it's a mixed crowd. It's not, it's not the Westport district. It's not an upscale kind of area. It's more of a bohemian, hippie / LGBT area. A lot of the new wave motherfuckers. You got a lot of tattoo shops and new age spiritual shops down there, and it's a very chic part of town. A lot of eclectic and eccentric motherfuckers go down there. But it's got a solid, long-standing club scene. Anyway, clubs in Kansas City let out about round 3. Down the main street, I think it's Jefferson, if I'm not mistaken. It's either Jefferson or Broadway. I want to say Jefferson or 39. All the food trucks come through. Poncho's food truck come through. If you want to get your burritos and whatnot. Jerusalem Cafe, you want to get your lamb gyro on, or, Mad Jacks, you want to get your fried fish on and whatnot. They all post up on the main drag, So all the drunkards come out the club, want some grub. You can get you a bite to eat, call you an Uber, and get home safe. You feel me? So I'm telling my homie, I'm like, yo, I'm about to hit up this Jerusalem Cafe food truck right here, because I'm telling you, they got some bomb-ass lamb gyros with the cucumber sauce. Bro, I'm trying to tell you. So he's like, yo, all right, that's cool. Well, hey, I'll be through there in a minute. I'm about to holler at this bitty cross yonder. When, so I'm like, all right, then I'll get up with you in a minute then. I get in line, white dude in front of me, right? This black dude come up to him, start talking to the white dude. You know how a nigga try to, you know when a nigga is just shucking and jiving and trying to run some game. Like, it's just an aura that just emanates off of him. It's just, you can see it in his whole body language. He tried to just get to talking to this dude like he knew him. And I'm like, and the white dude looking at him like, nigga, I really don't know you, but okay, Mr. Black Man, I'm gonna oblige your conversation and just sit up here and shake my head and smile. And then, they have a little 20, 30-second conversation, and the brother just eases in line like, tries to play it off like everything's all good. And I'm like, yo, my man, you're not about to cut me like this. And he do the same. And now this nigga is around my age. He's like mid-20s going into his late 20s. This nigga's around my age. You know what I mean? He pulled the same shit that the 40-year-old dude tried to pull. And he reacted the same way. I caught him with his pants down, and he had egg on his face, so he wanted to save face and project this guilt onto me and get the popping off. And I'm just looking at this nigga, I'm just staring this nigga down as he walking his ass back in line, and I'm like, nigga, don't make me turn your goddamn teeth upside down, you know what I'm saying, on the main strip. And we got police on horseback and shit. Nigga, don't make me bust you in your shit. Like, just get your ass in line. You ain't got enough discipline to wait an extra 10 minutes in line to get your gyro. Hey, who the fuck made you King Tut, nigga? That you can just hop in line. And who made me the mark for you to say, oh yeah, that nigga right there, I'm about to try to finesse and sneak in line on him. Like, nigga, what? And what really pissed me off is I'm like, I know I could whoop this nigga. I know I could whoop him. You know what I mean? Like, I'm 6 feet, 200, 205, solid, in shape. This old 5'7", 5'8", old husky, pudgy motherfucker. I'm like, bro, I'm like, I know I could whoop this nigga. But it's just the thrill of the finesse. It's just the thrill of the finesse. Motherfuckers, it's not even about the other two dudes trying to get their check. It's not even about the older gentleman want to get a 3-piece and a biscuit. It's not even about the dude want to get a lamb gyro with cucumber sauce. No, it's not even about that. Because if you just wait your ass in line, eventually they going to give it to you. You going to get served. It's about the thrill, the rush of the ha-ha, I finessed him, as you know, as they maniacally rub their hands together like, oh, I finessed him, I got over on him, ha ha. And that type of thinking right there, that's running rampant in our community. And it's spreading through the advent of social media because it's being popularized by social media and by music to finesse. You know, you got rappers claiming themselves to be the finesse king and this, that, and the third. And I'm like, this whole finessing bullshit, this whole nickel and diamond trying to get over, even on the most trivial, petty shit possible. That type of mentality, that type of bullshit bleeds over into other shit. And as Jason Black puts it, that type of behavior is whorehouse rules. That is indicative to whorehouse rules. Let me get over on you. Let me finesse you. Let me cross you. Let me try to get over on you any possible way I can, as soon as I can, before you get over on me. And I'm like, we can't do business. Can't do business if we living like that. Yo, I'm just saying. You know, I can't link up with a brother, and I can't link up with several brothers and form a conglomerate if 3 out of the 5 brothers is on some finesse king type of bullshit, man. So, I don't know. That's just my rant on some of the foul behavior that black folks is on.